Hi everybody, I'm Brad and this is WhattaYaAct. Today we're here at Black Marsh Road. I got two guests that I'd like to introduce you to. Number one, Ruth Lawrence is here. She's a Canadian filmmaker based out of right here in St. John's, Newfoundland. Been doing it for over 30 years. She's been on the award-winning film Little Orphans, and she's also more recently done Blueberry Grunt, which let's just take a moment to congratulate Sherry White, because she won Best Director with that film at the Atlantic International Film Festival. So congratulations, Sherry. Luke Lawrence, who is an actor, writer, comedian. You may have seen him downtown doing comedy at Aaron's Pub or other prestigious establishments. You may have also seen him in a movie that he wrote, Party Pirate. And Ruth actually directed Party Pirate. And a side note on that, Party Pirate sold out its opening gala in St. John's overnight. Don't go anywhere. Get comfortable, because it's going to be a great show. I'll do one too.
I'm not even going to try.
And action. Ruth and Luke, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I really was excited to bring you both to these locations that you shot in Party Pirate.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to hear about any things that come up with respect to shooting and filming, you know, kind of stories behind the scenes. So we're at the scene here on Black Marsh Road. You know, how are you guys feeling about this?
Well, this was our first day.
Yeah, it was like our first shot. Second shot.
Yeah, and it was 3 years ago, almost like to the day.
Yeah.
So it feels pretty roomy back here.
Our first day was the 19th and 20th right now. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it hasn't changed much. Like all the houses still look the same that we're looking at. And certainly this looks exactly the same. And I really recognize, of course, our fire hydrant, which is not going to move anytime soon. So yeah, it's colder.
Okay.
A lot colder.
We really got blessed with the weather somehow.
We didn't really have much to shoot inside, so we had no cover days, and we got really lucky for almost 3 weeks of having really great weather. Warmer than right now, which is strange.
Yeah. But speaking of weather, like I know it rained last night, so I was kind of worried about today. I did check the weather and it said it would be okay, so I was just having faith. Thank you.
Well, we have a day in our movie where it starts beautiful, and then it actually here was where Luke accidentally did an improv thing where he looked up at the sky, and in the very next scene that we shot, that in chronologically in the movie, it was raining the next day, and I was like, oh man. And so when we put it all together, I thought, we're like, I don't know how we're gonna manage this. And then Justin was like, well, what's he looking at there? And I went, oh,
It was a seagull. It was really
and so we made it the thunder, and it worked great.
What do I need?
I know I don't believe in you. Send me a ride.
Just gotta believe.
When you were writing the film,
Yeah.
was this a film about yourself, or how did the idea come to be?
I guess the character myself that was always kind of like, it was me in the story. It was kind of inspired by a bunch of small stories all put into one. And how do I glue this all together? And then I kind of figured out a way. I remember I was like literally like sitting on my couch. This was like 10 years ago, and I was like, oh, this is how this can work. This is how this all can go together. The first part was literally me and my friends just taking a boat while we were on mushrooms, like a little paddle boat, and then going over to our other friend's cabin. And that was kind of what inspired the first thing.
And then really during the process of writing, like a fair bit changed just in terms of like making all the dramatic structure work. And so like things got exaggerated a bit, which of course we didn't write. And then like really a couple characters changed because we added the arch nemesis pirate. Yeah.
But he was based on a real person.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Yeah, that was based on it. Because like I remember.
Okay. So there you go.
Yeah, I remember Kyle Dooley was asking me questions like of characters in the story, and then anyways I was like, man, honestly, like the original party pirate before me was an insane dude, and I just talked about him and how he got fired and stuff, and he was like, man, this could be a character in the movie, and then we just created Joel's character because of me just telling him about this guy that I knew before.
And Kyle Dooley was our story editor, and he worked with Luke at one point, maybe in the second draft or the third draft or something.
Draft, yeah.
And he's from Nova Scotia originally, from Picnic Face, from that comedy group. we were looking for a story editor. We asked one person. He said, I can't do it, but you should ask Kyle Dooley. And Kyle turned out to be
Kyle
awesome.
Turner did. Like, he asked all the perfect questions.
You will be hard-pressed to find another party pirate such as me.
Yeah, that's the plan. Jeez.
When I heard the joke as a part of your stand-up,
Yeah.
like it was like not immediately, but at some point I remember saying to you that like that story sounds like a movie. It's so big and broad. And then one day I was going to do a pitch for Vice at the Women's Film Festival, which is like very dear to my heart. I love that festival. And I realized that Vice was not going to be really interested in anything from me. And I woke up that morning and went, this is going to go all wrong. So I called Luke. I said, are you up? And he's like, oh, no, not really. I said, do you want to go and do a pitch in an hour? He goes, what's that? I said, you should just tell the party pirate story. And so that's what he did. He came in basically to, like in the pitch, he just told the joke because it's a long joke. And that person was like, oh, that's an excellent pitch. That's the best pitch I've ever heard. And she said, I need other people to hear it. And so she tried to get other people. It didn't work out. And then that night she said, oh, all my friends are here now. They need to hear that pitch. And I was like, okay. So I called Luke and you were at like Chest's Fish and Chips. You just ordered supper or something. I said, come down, tell that joke. And that's really what got it started because there was a few people in that group that she brought together that were interested in it. And that's how we ended up really getting encouraged
Exactly.
to make the movie.
Before that, I went there. I told this story and it bombed. And it bombed so bad. And then I showed the next week after. And then I did different jokes. And then the bartender didn't recognize me. She's literally like, oh man, you're so much funnier than the comedian that was here last week. And I was just like, that was me. So anyways, while I'm doing this pitch to all these women for the Women's Film Festival, I'm literally just there in the alleyway, just delivering the story so well. And then I see this bartender come out, and I'm telling the story that didn't do well. And I'm like telling the story goes so well. And then the moment that she comes out, I start losing faith in myself. And I kind of just like yeah. I start getting really quiet. And then she goes back in, and I start like getting confidence again. And everyone's kind of just like, I could tell everyone's like, like he was doing so well. Why is he? Okay, no, he's back on track. I'll never forget. It's like, and then okay, all right, So, anyways, back to I'll never forget that. I was like, thank God you went inside quickly.
We got another location that we'll go to at the small boat basin. Let's wrap up here and we'll go over there.
Sounds perfect.
Perfect.
See you there.
See you there.
Okay, let's go.
The next set of clips are atrociously windy, and I am the most sorry one could be. We had lost our windsock in battle, never to be found again. But it's okay because we have this footage as a tribute to its sacrifice. May you rest in peace, windsock cover microphone thingy. We will play these sets of clips in your honor.
We're here now at the small boat basin. I'm going to point out this wonderful natural graphic tourist expedition. This is really cool.
This is
Wave. I don't know.
the funny thing is that this happened to us on set. We were about to shoot something. We saw a cruise liner like, what if you lose the cruise ship coming in? We were like, well, we got to get that. And so we have a shot where Tommy is giving a speech on the boat, and there is a cruise liner coming in.
Any special moments coming to mind standing here now?
So when Luke was writing this, it was in like 2020. So I spent most of that summer when we were all in lockdown going for walks, and I walked back and forth here a lot. And I knew Luke was writing a movie, and I was trying to suss out where could some of these scenes happen. And I'm from a fishing family, and so my brothers have all been busy, and my dad was a fisherman his whole life. And so I love, this is my favorite part of St. John's. And I was like, could not wait to get over here and shoot amongst these small boats. That was it for me. Everything we shot over here, I just loved. And my brother came out with us, my oldest brother. He's an international sea captain. And he came out with us as one of our safety officers. So it was really special to have him with us too.
All the water shot days would have been amazing. Like, I couldn't even comprehend. That was the thing. Like, as we said from the last shot, the weather was really on our side. Newfoundland water is so unpredictable, and every single day that we had on the water was super calm. And that was one of my most memorable things, how great the water was every day that we had on the water.
Yeah, and part of that was in the planning, because one of the things Jenny said was, one thing we got to keep in mind about the water shots is this and that. And so we actually used two harbors. We used St. John's Harbor for obviously all the scenic reasons, and then for everything where they were going to be anchored throughout Morgan.
One of the scenes that stands out for me, thinking about it now, being approached by the pirate.
Yeah.
And at some point, this pirate ends up in the water.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how cold that must have been.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that poor guy.
He was up for it. Like, we told him, we're going to have you in the water. Are you up for that? He's yes. So we did put him in a wetsuit underneath his costume, which was really hard to fit, but we put our costume worked for him. So he was in the water for not an insignificant amount of time.
I'm the pirate now!
We kept him in the water as little as we could, but I knew it was going to be half an hour or more.
Yeah, it was the last shot of the day. Then we had all the shots of it. It was finally getting in the water, and then we did a little water shots then real quickly.
Yeah, and because we also knew that whatever costume he was wearing, we weren't going to be able to use it afterwards. So we're like, okay, this is
And the last shot of the movie. It was like,
we ruin it here, and then we go home.
Well, another scene that stands out for me over here is like the swashbuckling.
oh, the pirate fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fight. Okay, the duel is so funny. It's just grown-ups being kids. Joel's character is always in character.
Right.
And in that moment, he's finally not in character for a second. And then he's just a child. I'm on mushrooms. And then I was like, oh, this is fun. And then it's just like, no, it is fun. And the whole thing is just a great time. I love that scene. I think it's probably my favorite scene in the movie.
No, you didn't laugh. What are you laughing about? This is like a deep, serious wound. What the fuck? If I left you here, you'd bleed out. Like, no, that's not how this works, man. Okay, I'll cut you, you're cut.
Oh, okay.
Okay, no, never mind. You have that one. You start again.
Got him.
That's every time.
Wait. I got him back in. My guts are back in. There's only a little flesh wound. I've had way worse. You get one, I get one, man.
Let's keep it moving. We'll see you at the next one. We're going to go to the Newfoundland Embassy. We're going to have a quick little chat, and we'll go from there.
One
See
of our
you at the
favorites.
next one. StandUpComedyNL.ca is the premier source for all things comedy in Newfoundland and Labrador. We are dedicated to promoting and celebrating the vibrant local comedy scene, showcasing talented comedians, and keeping you up to date on the latest shows, events, and performances across the province. Yeah, that's right. StandUpComedyNL.ca. We're here at the Newfoundland Embassy, and I just want to say a big thank you for giving us the space to be here today. The actor that was doing the auditioning, I've seen him on Canada's Worst Driver. What's that gentleman's name?
Andrew Young husband.
And so, how did it come to be that he was involved in the production?
So, do you want to go?
He looks really happy to tell us.
I know, you tell us.
So, so we were trying to find like a celebrity guest to be the director. That's what we're trying to figure out. And then I was driving down Duckworth Street and I seen Andrew Young husband. And at this time, I didn't even know Andrew Young. I didn't personally know him. And I was like, man, Andrew Young husband's here.
Didn't he do another show called Don't Drive Here? But he kind of thrives on that too. And I've known Andrew since we were really teenagers. He was working with Corey and Wade's Playhouse. I've been a fan and a friend since then. And he lived away for many, many years. And then around the time of the pandemic, he decided to move back here. So I saw him and said, hey, will you come out and do this? Because Luke mentioned him. And I thought, yeah, it's a great idea. And he was fantastic.
And then he ended up being our first AD after.
Yeah, because
So-
we lost our first AD during the show.
We lost 2 right away, really quickly. And then he jumped on, and then, Andrew Young husband, he went from one of my favorite people to see on TV to one of my favorite people in life.
Yeah.
Such a great person.
Yeah.
The character of Tommy has dyslexia. And in the movie, I know he used the script, the words moved around, the stop sign. Tell me a little bit about what it might have been like to film that.
She came up with the idea. She was like, we should probably represent all the different forms of dyslexia in the movie. So you see throughout the movie, you see each way of different interpretations of how people perceive their dyslexia throughout the film.
Yeah, and that took a little bit of research because Luke could describe what his dyslexia felt like, but then talking to other people, it was like, oh, there's actually lots of different ways. Then we did a bit of research on that and really worked with the visual effects artist, Chris McCrow, to represent that in some way. So we tried to, and I should say, afterwards, talking to some of the audience, people who had dyslexia said to me, wow, I found the way I see things or the way I read or the way things look to me in the movie. And it might only been once, but it was important to them. They really felt like finally they saw it out there in the world. So, and that was important to me as a director to get across this idea that Luke had about, this guy who felt like a loser because he had learning disabilities. Well, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people who have that, and they're not losers. They just learn differently from other people. And in this case, read differently from other people. So, yeah, that was important to me to make sure that we represented that in as many ways as we could.
When I saw it, I feel like it was the first time that I was able to be I can actually feel it for a split second.
Yeah, exactly. And me too, because I don't have that particular learning disability, but I thought it was great that Chris really did the work on helping us figure out exactly how to show that.
Right.
Yeah.
Another big shout out to Chris, because Chris also helped make the movie. So Chris works on Star Wars and everything. He's a friend of mine from back in the day.
And he's from here.
He's from here, and I found the movie really got what we made with the movie. It was just a bunch of favors. People just came in and just did a bunch of Chris gets paid so much more.
Yeah, I know.
What he did for us, it was and he just did, and he did redos and stuff. So big shout out to Chris, because thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Everything, even this location that we shot here, they're friends of ours, and they let us shoot here. Everybody that came on board really was doing it.
It wouldn't have went as far as it could have without the help of everybody in the community, and not even community. He lives in Vancouver, and it's just him knowing us, and he was I would love to do that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's worked on King Kong and all that stuff. All those major things he's done.
Yeah.
And that's really what like independent, low budget filmmaking is. I mean, earlier you had your boom pole here. Is it still around?
No, but we
Because
could use the pool cue.
It was hilarious. I know, exactly. So there's a pool table here in this room that we're shooting in, and but literally they had a broom handle, and that was their boom pole. They had their mic on, and I thought, I feel right at home here because this is exactly how I'm used to working. Like, you take what you have in the moment and you use it.
Yeah,
You know, and like Luke said, favors and just like goodwill from people is invaluable when it comes to filmmaking. And then you also obviously try to be respectful of their place, of what they own, try to help, promote them a little bit, or do whatever you can to kind of pay it back in some way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty important. And our community, I think, it is special here. People do help each other, loan each other stuff, do favors. More than I've seen anywhere else, for sure.
I know for me personally, like doing this WhattaYaAct show, I rely heavily on volunteers such as camera people, Michaela and Devin here.
Shout out to our team
right?
over
Yeah,
here.
right. Like I find, like having the vision is one thing, but you definitely need the support to push it forward, right? And it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Even having you guys here today, like I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. It's great. This is how we all start.
Paul Wolf was in the movie. I remember, recognizing him. I really enjoyed his character.
The funny thing about Paul is that Paul did a great audition, and I watched it, and I was like, okay, I can't cast him. He's way too young for this character. So I personally wrote him and said, man, your audition was great. I'm sorry I can't cast you. I need someone older. Because I did have, Luke wrote a certain way, and I was like trying to be true to all these things that were in the movie. I said, I'm really sorry. He goes, oh, gee, I appreciate it, but that's too bad. I said, yeah, you're like 30 years too young. And in the end, we couldn't get the person we wanted. We couldn't get the person we were looking for. And so then I went back to him and said, hey, would you still be interested? He goes, yes. Yeah. So it just goes to show that a no is not always a no. And just always, he was very graceful when I said, I'm really sorry that I can't cast you, but your audition was great. He was very graceful. And yeah, people have to, I was like, wow, if people act with grace like that, it makes it a lot easier to kind of go back after when you go, oh, it turns out we do actually need you, and we want you, and we can cast you now. So yeah, he made that easy.
That's it, my son, get after it. Man, when I was in the Navy, I'd be washing dishes for the 1,000. Some nights, I just fired the whole works in the ocean. Anyway, my son, you'll be all right. You're doing good. All right, bud, let's rock and roll. Let's have some service tonight.
I don't know what I'm doing in my life.
Sure, look at you. Dressed like a pirate.
I'm a disgrace to the uniform.
Well, suit you. You were a disgrace with my dishwasher.
That's only an apron.
Even that. Wait. Did you get fired? Again? Yeah, I knew you'd blow it. Sure, you're no actor.
That's not what happened.
I got an amazing new dishwasher. Tips have tripled because of the gleaming silverware.
Tripled.
Yeah.
Can I, by chance,
Speak up a bit.
would you consider?
Can't hear you.
Would you consider?
Yeah? Louder now.
I need my rent. I need my job back.
We'll see.
Well, I gotta say, for me watching it and not knowing any of that, I think I felt like, he played that part so well
He's
that I thought,
it, yeah.
He's earned it.
Totally.
And couldn't see anybody else being Ernie.
I know.
Me and Paul had a really good chemistry between each other, and then there was some scenes where we're friends.
Yeah.
We're friends, so we're just start going off each other, and then there were some scenes that had some lines in it, but that weren't in all of the shots. And we were like, I was like, man, I want this so badly in here because this was such a good scene. This was such a good scene for this one clip, and I was like, we couldn't get it because it was only in one spot. And we were like, what? we did it later on. Like, I guess I'm just getting comfortable just having a laugh. And it was like, and it happened a couple times
I
with
know.
different scenes of me and Paul where it was literally just like, man, this is so good. We need to have this in there because it was just so funny.
Yeah.
But it was like, we only got one side of that. We only got one angle of it. It was
I
like-
could barely direct those scenes because I was laughing so much.
Yeah, they were
The scenes
so
over.
good. They were so good.
I could
And-
barely do it.
And it's funny because you wouldn't even be able to tell like how much like in that scene you wouldn't be able to tell like on camera how electric that scene actually was. Do you know what I mean? It's like because we were on fire having such a good time, but the scene is not looking like that. It's supposed to be like that.
That's why I say sometimes it should be theater.
Yeah.
It should be theater. We've talked about that, about like how some things should actually be theatrical. And like, cause that moment of you guys working together was like improv that should be seen,
Yeah.
you know? That's what I think.
100%.
Why don't you take a moment and just tell the camera what you guys got going on, what people should be watching out for?
I got a couple projects I'm working on and see what comes to life on either TV or film.
Okay. And what about how people can follow you?
You can follow me on Luke Lawrence Laughs on all my social medias.
And my most recent project that people will be able to see in the new year in 2026 will be Sherry White's movie Blueberry Grunt that I produced with her. And it just won an award for Sherry, Best Directing at the Atlantic Film Festival. It's a thank you. That was the first screening, so it's going to do a bunch more this fall. And hopefully in 2026, a wider audience will get to see it. So that's our next thing. Blueberry Grunt, a great movie. Also with Joel Thomas Hines in the cast. So he keeps coming back.
Right on. And how about if anybody would like to follow you and your shenanigans?
If anyone wants to follow me on Facebook, I'm Ruth Lawrence. I'm pretty easy to find there. And on Instagram, I'm Ruthless Lawless on Instagram.
I like that.
Yeah.
And guys, my name is Brad. As always, please like, share, subscribe. We're on Facebook, YouTube. I'm not really good at any of it, but I do my best. So follow along, support. And again, big shout out to Newfoundland Embassy for giving us the space today. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Always.
Thank you. Thanks for watching if you're still here. Like, the whole process of making it was amazing. But yeah, watching movies is what this is really all about. You
Right.
want people to watch it, and you want to see what people get out of it.
The Party Pirate locations, with Ruth and Lawrence. You know how many times I said in my final rehearsals, right? Ruth and Luke. What's going on? And he's been involved in projects such as Little One. Sorry. No, let's keep rolling.